Who really owns the story? Cultural materialism says, not the author. You thought the author owned the story? Cultural materialism says, they don't. And once you see why, you'll never read the same way again. We all grew up hearing one thing: respect the author. Honor their intent. Look for what they meant. But what if I told you that the author isn't the one in control? That once a story is written, it no longer belongs to the person who wrote it. It belongs to history, to culture, to power, to you. According to a radical literary theory called cultural materialism, the author isn't the master of meaning. They're just part of the machine. And if you've ever read a book and felt like it was saying something beneath the surface, something political, powerful, or even dangerous, you weren't imagining it. This video will change how you read, how you interpret, and how you understand who really controls the story. The death of the author. In 1967, a French theorist named Roland Barthes dropped a literary bombshell. He declared the death of the author. What did he mean? That meaning no longer belongs to the person who wrote the text. Once a book is out in the world, the reader, not the author, becomes the one who gives it meaning. Barthes wasn't trying to cancel authors. He was trying to free readers. But cultural materialism takes it a step further. It says that meaning doesn't just come from the reader. It comes from culture itself, from the ideologies, institutions, and power structures that surround the text. So, who owns the story? Not the author, not even the reader entirely. The story belongs to the social context in which it was written and the one in which it's being read. What is cultural materialism? Cultural materialism is a theory that emerged in the late 20th century, part Marxism, part literary criticism, part political analysis. Its central idea? All cultural products, including books, are shaped by and reflect the power systems of their time. That means literature isn't just about characters, metaphors, or themes. It's about who controls what gets published, what stories are told, and which voices are erased. Pioneered by thinkers like Raymond Williams and Jonathan Dollimore, cultural materialism argues that texts are never pure art. They're embedded in history, influenced by economics, class, race, gender, and politics. And here's the kicker. Even authors themselves are influenced by those forces, whether they realize it or not. Authors inside the system. Authors don't create stories in a vacuum. They write under the weight of culture. They write under publishers, under censorship, under class expectations, religious norms, market trends. Even something as personal as a love story carries the fingerprints of the system. So when we say, what did the author intend? Cultural materialism replies, why does that matter? When the real power is in the culture that allowed or silenced the story? Consider this. Why were certain works by women, black writers, and colonized voices ignored for centuries? Why do we study Shakespeare and not the anonymous peasant poets of the same time? It's not just about literary merit. It's about whose voice the system allowed to rise. And so, the author becomes less of a god and more of a product, and sometimes a prisoner, of their moment in history. Reading with X-ray vision. Cultural materialism gives us what I like to call X-ray reading. You don't just read a story. You read beneath it, behind it, around it. You ask, what power structures are operating in this text? What's being promoted? And what's being left unsaid? Who wins? Who loses? Who disappears? Let's say you're reading a novel about a noble hero saving the kingdom. Ask, why is the hero noble? Why is the kingdom worth saving? Who defines the enemy? Suddenly, that epic fantasy isn't just entertainment. It's a reflection of real-world hierarchies and ideologies. And here's the twist. The author might not have meant any of it. But culture did. Shakespeare doesn't belong to Shakespeare. No author proves this better than Shakespeare. His works have been interpreted as royalist, revolutionary, feminist, patriarchal, anti-colonial, and everything in between. Why? Because Shakespeare's plays don't exist in a single form. They evolve with every era, every performance, every classroom. He wrote them, yes, but we, the readers, the actors, the directors, the scholars, reshape them constantly. King Lear in a monarchy says one thing. King Lear in a democracy says another. King Lear in the hands of the oppressed? It becomes a tool for rebellion. Cultural materialism doesn't ask, what did Shakespeare mean? It asks, what does this play do in this moment? And for whom? And that changes everything.
Derrida's role.
Here's the empowering part. If the author isn't the sole owner of meaning, then you, the reader, have power too. But that power comes with responsibility. Reading critically means asking hard questions. It means challenging what seems obvious. It means recognizing when a story uplifts injustice or resists it. Every time you pick up a book, you're not just consuming culture. You are interacting with it, interrogating it, even rewriting it. With your own interpretation, you become part of the story's legacy. And that's far more powerful than simply asking what the author meant. So, who really owns the story? Not the author, not fully, not the reader either, not entirely. The story belongs to the moment, to the culture, to the systems around it, and to the people engaging with it. You, me, all of us. That's what cultural materialism reveals. It's not just about reading books. It's about reading power in all its hidden forms. And once you start, you'll never read the same way again. Like what you heard. Subscribe for more deep dive storytelling on theory, power, and the stories we live by.